Yeah, so go for something at least 2-ply. Otherwise, you're going to be disappointed. You know, when you have to change your heads after just a couple shows or a couple band practices.
For those who actually want a date, I mean, if it all depends, I guess, on if you're playing your drums regularly too. I mean, if they're just sitting there, or if you're actually playing them quite often. But usually, a good rule of thumb that I like to follow is every 6 months, if I can afford it. That way, you're making, because I play obviously quite a bit on my kit, and I do a lot of tours. It goes inside and outside, gets different temperatures on there. But yeah, in general, I usually say about anywhere from 6 months is when you should change them if you can afford it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because heads aren't cheap. I mean, the snare heads, I think, are around in between $14 and $20 dollars now, depending on what you get. And I don't even know the price of the tom heads.
Tom heads anywhere from 15 to 25. It's the bass drum head that gets up there. I mean, that's
right. We're giving away EMADs, 2 EMADs. Okay, those things are probably around $60 to $80 each.
Yeah.
The EMAD is one of my, like, I'd actually like it for this drum right here, but I can't use the ones we're giving away.
Well, yeah, I guess we can't. I was gonna say, I think we might have a reso for this one, but we're giving that one away. So
yeah. Okay, if you guys have any questions about anything that, you know, if maybe we're missing something, like Dave said at the beginning of the lesson, write them down, and that we will have a question and answer section at the end of this show. We'd love to answer your questions as it relates to the lesson. If you have any questions that don't relate to the lesson, maybe just email me, okay, or post them in the forum. My email is jared@railroadmedia.com, for those of you who don't know. I'm happy to answer your guys' emails, whatever you need to help your drumming. Okay.
Okay, while you do that one, I think I might actually attack the bass drum here. Start taking off the heads of that. You have the bass pedal clamped to it right now. So.
Well, maybe you could do this one right over here.
Oh, you snuck one back there, too.
Yeah, this is my 18-inch floor tom. This is the Canon. Is there, just maybe, Monkey, you want to check to make sure that there's the drum heads for it? Just wait, let him check.
There's 18, and there's a 26.
No, those are, give us the 18 pack. Give us the pack of 18. Yeah, give us both of them.
Okay, so I'll take this over. A lot of drummers, or a lot of drum sets, have bass drums that are 18-inch. So to have a tom that's 18-inch is just awesome.
My hip gig, I have a Yamaha Al Foster Junior. Is it senior? Al Foster? Hip gig drum set. But it's that kit's awesome. Love playing it. Poppy little bass drum. I'm just gonna take it. I got it. My throat got a little bit of Stella here today. There we go.
So have you ever been? Actually been on a gig or on a tour or anything like that, and actually had a head break on you? And
I've had one time I was playing this show and I had forgotten my snare drum, and but I got to the club and most clubs have a kit, but the snare on the kit had a massive hole cut all the way on the bottom of it, and so just the wires still went across, but there's a massive hole along the bottom, and so I went to one of the other band's drummers and I asked him if I could use his snare drum, and he basically said no. You snooze, you lose. Yeah. He said, "No, sorry. You snooze, you lose. I just put a new head on my drum, and I don't want to let you use it," which was kind of weird. I thought drummers were supposed to kind of band together, but basically, then I went back up to him again, and I said, "Tell you what, I'll buy you a new drum head." I gave him a $20 bill, and I said, "Let me use your snare drum for the show," and he took it. So he's basically just wanted money.
But a greedy guy.
Yeah, but now after that, I'll never go to a gig without my snare drum and the kind of like the breakables, right? You bring your snare, your bass drum pedal, and your cymbals, and the toms and the bass drum. You know, you can kind of work with whatever they got. But that's my horror story as far as that.
I just opened up this 18-inch tom, and it just smelled so good.
Really?
Oh, the maple smells so good.
Yeah, that is the since I just got these kind of additional pieces for this DW kit, and that's one of them. And I've never opened that one up since I got it. So
Yeah, it's got a beautiful smell.
okay, and eventually, like so I think you guys might see me here. I'm kind of just feeling the tension of the head. You know, I might do that because it gets to a certain point with tuning where you've done it enough, where you know how tight the head is, and you know what without even kind of hearing it, you can just kind of feel where it sounds, where it's best. It's like here, it's obviously too loose. You can hear that, but I'm just gonna tighten her up. I think the reso actually might be too tight. So for muffling purposes, like I said before, I always use drum gum. It's kind of like the competition to moon gel. The good thing about drum gum is it's not sticky on top. It's just sticky on the bottom. And because of that, it doesn't get dirty as fast. You know, there's wood chips. There's not wood chips all over it after your show. So it lasts a lot longer. Moon gel is like, for a little pack of 4 of them, I think it's $10. Maybe even more than that now. But yeah, drum gum lasts longer. Like these pieces of drum gum have been on here for almost over a year now, and they still work great. Okay, let me hit this drum. Okay, it actually sounds pretty good, but it's a little bit low for me as it compares to the 12-inch tom, because I have a 12, 13, and 14-inch tom. I like to keep them a little bit closer together. But there's too much difference between this and that. So let me just try and tune it up a little bit.
It's a good point you said there's tuning your drums to your other drums. I mean, you can get a really good sound from the one drum.
Yeah.
But you got to make sure it sounds good with your other ones. Otherwise, you could end up having 2 drums sounding almost identical.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll talk about that as soon as we finish and I get the drums back up. I'll basically just go up and down and make sure that the intervals are correct, and that's what's most important. That when you go down, you start high and you go down the drums. That it sounds proper as you go down each drum. Okay, you hear that? I changed that. I tuned up the top, and now I'm getting that overtone. Okay, so what in this case, because what I just did is I changed the top. I tuned it up. I'm gonna bring up the bottom head because it was sounding good before that. It was just a little bit too low for me. Okay, so I'm just going to bring up the bottom head, and I'm guessing that should fix the problem. Maybe, hopefully. Yeah, fix the problem. Okay, so a lot of times when you get that that, it's because the
Sorry, what
reso.
sound was that, Jer?
What's that?
What was that sound?
What do you mean?
Can you go with it? Can you say that sound again?
I don't know what you mean.
I didn't hear that sound.
What sound?
You just imitated what it would sound like.
Dave's trying to make fun of me, but it won't work, Dave. You can't get me. You can't really make fun of people. Hey?
I'm too nice. You're right.
No.
I always
Not
try to look at the. I try to always look at the positive.
Yeah, I know you are Mr. Positive.
Yeah. I got this drum here down, ready to go for you to tune too.
Okay.
By the way, it's a 14-inch.
I may hear here. Okay, it's a 14-inch with not a new reso head. That's too bad. Okay. You tuned up this is too tight. I can feel that just by touching it. Okay, so like I said before, guys, if there's anything we're missing, feel free to write down your questions now. We're going to get to them probably within the next 10 minutes or so. We're just finishing the last few drums here, and then we'll definitely be able to get to your questions. These aren't tight. And also, we got some cool stuff to give away. Okay, we have probably over $300 worth of drum heads that Evans has provided for our show to give to you guys. Okay, more on Evans. Go to their website. I think we can throw it on screen. Monkey number 3 can maybe throw it on screen. Yeah, they make great heads. Last for a while. Okay, let me hit this. It's a little bit low. So we've been working really hard here lately, setting the studio up, and we're also working on a few more projects that are going to be releasing in the next couple of months. Stuff I'm really excited about. I've actually never been so excited about a project that I'm working on now, and I can't talk too much about it, but it's going to be huge. It's going to be. We haven't done anything like it, and so it might bomb, but I think you guys are going to love it. Wow, that sounds horrible. Horrible. Let me see here. It might be this old resonant head. Can't even hear any tone out of it anymore. I'm going to tune it up a little bit. You saw I just tuned it down before. It seemed too tight. I'm going to tune it up. Because it's not resonating, it's not ringing, it's just dead. And that's what happens when heads get past a certain age. Even from just being stretched over the drum for too long, they just become dead. That's better. I'm going to put it on here so I don't have to hold it up.
One thing, guys, we're using just regular drum keys. There's a lot of other stuff out there that you could use. There's drum dials, and there's ones that...
Yeah, what do you think of the drum dial? There's been a lot of discussion
I have
on that.
never used the drum dial.
Yeah.
I think the drum dial is, from what I've seen at least on videos and stuff, the drum dial is useful for getting your drums quickly tuned, but not for fine tuning. That's what I've come to the conclusion of, but I've never used it myself, so I can't really give an honest opinion on it. But there's also one that's like a torque wrench almost for your drums, so you get the even amount of tension on each lug, which is also could be useful. I've never used that one either. So
yeah, that's cool. Did you move this from there? Okay, I'm just gonna talk a little bit. Yeah, I'll put this mic back so you guys can hear that. How do I do this? Oh, I'm hooked in there. There we go. Okay, I think they're all mic'd up now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I'm just gonna go up and down there because I was hearing some stuff. Okay, here's the difference between this, the 13, and the 14. Okay, the 13 is actually lower than the 14. Okay, so now I'm gonna lower this 14-inch. Okay, that sounds way better. Cool. Okay, so as far as tuning them together, like I said, just for me, it's about making sure that there's the intervals between each drum. It sounds good. So if I were to take it to a gig, I've never taken this whole kit to a gig, but if I were to take a part of this kit to a gig, I'd probably take like the 10, the 12, and the 16. And so in that case, I would make sure that the 10, 12, and the 16 sound good as one. They sound like one kit. And so that might mean changing the tuning a little bit. Maybe make less of a interval distance between the 12 and the 16, or maybe make more of an interval difference between the 10 and the 12, so you can get more of that melodic feeling. But in this case, I think they sound good together. What do you think?
That sounds really good.
Okay.
I haven't tuned that one up. If
Okay,
you wanted to actually
I'm gonna leave this one just because I think we have to get going. I want to tune up this bass drum. Okay, so we gotta pull this apart. Let me just come out of here. And
this is the one that most people have the most issues with, from what I've seen on emails and the forum posts, is the bass drum. So
yeah. Watch it. Okay,
Yeah,
there you
we're good.
go. Okay, so totally uncut, unscripted. You guys are seeing all the crap that we normally cut out of our DVDs. If you want like a really focused, tight, instructional package on tuning, Mike's drum tuning system is obviously what I recommend. He did a great job in that. This lesson is going to be around an hour, maybe hour and a half. I don't even know how long we've gone. But Mike's drum tuning system is 4.5 hours. Okay,
Without any of this stuff either.
yeah,
so.
without any of this moving around, it's actually edited down. So
Thing is, it's good that they're saying this though, because a lot of people have never done this and they don't know how long it should usually take them. And this
Yeah.
is literally what you should do each time. Don't
just
try to rush it.
Don't. Yeah, okay, that's good. Let me just pull this. Do you want to remove the bass drum mic, Monkey?
Actually, I can grab that there.
Okay.
I'm kind of stuck with.
You know what? Let's just pull this out. Got the Iron Cobras today. For all you double pedal guys. Didn't actually use it, but. Okay. So, oh no. I hate that.
Destroying
I
it.
hate that. Oh, okay. This is just carnage for these drums. Okay, hopefully I can see no red. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's start with the reso head. Let me just pull off this old one. As far as changing the bass drum reso head, because it's such an expensive drum head, you know, these reso heads are probably $40 to $50. Is that right, Dave? Do you know?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Somewhere around there. I don't change it as much, just because I don't have money to change. Well, I get the heads for free now, but back when I was having to pay for them, it was a different case. I wouldn't change it every time. I would just change the batter head. Normally, I'd use the bass drum head, the batter head, until it actually just put a hole in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because eventually, if you're not using any sort of padding on with the bass drum beater where the bass drum beater meets the head, eventually that part will just wear out.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's, you know, on the drums, when you hit them with the sticks, you're hitting in so many different places. But with the bass drum, you're always hitting, you're generally hitting in the exact same place.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for your help here.
Well, you know, I'm just making sure you're doing a good job.
No, you're good, you're good. If we get the reso head out,
Yeah, I'm gonna see where that is here.
Okay. As far as other lessons, like we're gonna try and do this. For now, we're doing this. For now, we're doing this 1 day a week, and it's every Tuesday right now. We find that's the time that works best for the majority of people. I know it doesn't work for everyone. I know there's people that are watching this. You know, you're probably watching it now. It's it's a recorded version, so you didn't have a chance to win any of the free stuff and stuff like that. And but we for now, like I said, it's just gonna be on Tuesdays. Eventually, we're gonna try and do it more, and that's kind of part of the new thing that we're considering, that we're planning on doing in the next little while. Open up those packages over there.
Those are 26-inch,
Yeah, what's in that one?
22s.
Oh, good. No, that's for the giveaways. Open up. Can you bring me those? I'm pretty sure that I put them in here to save space. Maybe, hopefully. Otherwise, this is going to be embarrassing. What's in the other one? Oh, dang. No heads. This is embarrassing. Yeah, give me the bass drum. That's good, yeah. Okay, here, and just take this one out. Okay, so, you know, being how prepared we are and how, like I said, this is uncut, unscripted. So I don't actually have drum heads here for that. They weren't in the package. So what I'm going to do is I have my 26-inch bass drum here.
Just a massive bass
Just a
drum.
monster.
Looks so good.
I have my 26-inch here that I'm going to, let me just put these down. And we have drum heads for this. So I definitely wanted to talk about bass drum tuning. So we'll just change the head on this one. Okay.
Okay, let me see if I can get in here. Give you a hand.
Yeah. Okay. That's better. Okay. So there's not as much, I don't think there's as much tension on, I've never measured the tension, but I don't think there's as much tension on bass drum.
No,
heads.
usually what I do with my resonant heads is I usually just do them finger tight and then a couple turns, maybe
Yeah.
like a half turn.
Yeah, so you're not
Just so it
cranking it.
sets, Yeah. I usually, one rule of thumb for me is to make sure that there's no wrinkles on the head.
Yeah, which is more cosmetic
Yeah.
than sound. Because I once had my bass drum that had, it was tons of wrinkles in it, but it sounded so good. So I didn't want to change it. Just left the wrinkles.
Okay.
Ah, many hens make light work, Dave. Got it?
There you go.
Okay, let's just hook it on there. Pull that head off. Okay, and I want to show you guys what I have in here for muffling. Dave, why don't you just hold that up, or hold this? Yeah, that's good. I can show you. Basically, this is all I have in there. Okay, just a brown sheet. And what I do is I'll kind of put it along the bottom. I don't know if they can see this.
Overhead cam, yeah.
Okay, put it along the bottom. And the bass drum beater, you can see it hits around right here. And so I'll keep the muffling a little bit below the bass drum beater. Okay? Just a little bit below. And so you want to, in this case, there is no actual hole on the bass drum head. So I can probably take it out now. But in this case, in other cases, you want to make sure you put it in there before you try and tune it, if you know whether or not you're going to need it.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want to always have to remove it and then retune and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
let's put on the reso head now.
So it's right behind you, I believe.
Okay. Can't believe I don't have the 22-inch bass drum heads. We've been literally scrambling here. I didn't even know if we were going to be able to do this lesson today because of all the stuff that went down. That was going down with this new studio and everything like that. The guys were just working like crazy, but we got it, and I think this will work well. But like I always say, it's only going to get better.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure it's good. I like to make sure it's centered.
Okay, so just sit it on top here. A couple of the lugs fell off, so 1 sec here. There you go. And you'll notice this head has a hole in it, which is very handy if you're wanting to, at a show, move around your muffling or
Can you
maybe
make sure
throw.
that's centered right at the bottom? Is this centered right between
No,
those
it's
lugs?
not. A little bit this way.
Okay.
Should be good there. So this is Evan's EQ3 resonant head.
Yeah. Okay, but for those of you that are just coming here, we're tuning up this 26-inch bass drum, and in the next 10 minutes now, I know I said that last time, but in the next 10 minutes, we're going to be giving away around $300 worth of drum stuff, okay? Drum heads. We got 2 Evans EMAD bass drum packs, so you get the batter head and the reso head, and then we have 2 EC3 tom packs, clear. Okay, 10, 12, and 14-inch. And then also we have 2 drum tuning systems. So there's 6 prizes in all. So you definitely want to stick around, but you need to be signed up and in the chat room ready to answer questions, okay? There are questions that anyone can get. Even if we ask the question, you can quickly search on Google and you can get the answer. So cheating is allowed. Okay, so now that that's generally tight, like you just said before, we're just going to do a couple turns on each one. I'm just going to a quarter. You're just doing a quarter turn, right?
Yeah, just a quarter
Okay.
turn each one. Just so it gets a little bit tight.
Okay, and now let's do another one.
Okay.
You're going right from. I'll go right from here.
Okay.
Another quarter turn, and just slowly tune it up. We should do another one.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's a big drum, so it's a different feel to it.
Probably.
I see a
another
little bit of wrinkles on your end there.
one. Yeah, we'll fix that up.
still a
Okay.
bit more, yeah.
So now I just want to trying to get rid of those wrinkles.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much did. I don't know if they're still there. Okay.
It's not
Well, I'll
too
try and
bad,
get for the wrinkles. You just kind of have to check with that. If it's wrinkling right here, you want to kind of stretch the head around it. So pull it down more, right around here. I don't think tuning this over here would help get rid of these wrinkles. No.
No.
But so you'd want to tune it like right around. Just stretch it right around here. Like I see a
There.
couple wrinkles.
Yeah.
They're pretty much gone now. As far as like pitch matching the bass drum head, I don't do that a lot. Like to a certain extent, but because it's such a big drum, especially this one because it's so big, it would be really hard to pitch match. Okay, so now let's turn this over. Kind of got that to where it is. And we basically just did that by feel. You saw how me and Dave were just kind of feeling when it's a certain tension, we just said, okay, that's good enough.
All right. So this whole one was a Remo Power Stroke.
Power Strokes 3. Like I said, I haven't. This was part of that thing where I got some more drums that matched the map of burls, and I haven't actually changed these yet. But I haven't liked the sound of this bass drum. I brought it into the studio once with these old heads on it, and we weren't able to use it. It just didn't sound. It didn't sound good. Too waffly.
Okay.
What about this one right here? Okay, so I've also said it earlier, for those of you guys who have more questions, we are available, okay, either on the forum or by email. You're welcome to contact us. If you have any questions about tuning, I'm Jared at railroadmedia.com, and Dave is Dave at railroadmedia.com, and we're also in the freedrumlessons.com drum forum. So you're welcome to stop by there.
One thing that came with this, head is what you call a.
It's
I
just
guess
a
it's
pad,
patch
Yeah.
that would go on there.
but that's not for a double pedal, so.
No. So where's the top? The top is up here. So let me take the sticker off here.
Is Dave blocking lights? Oh, I'm just out of the light. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and I also want to make sure that this pad, there's usually a rubber pad on this bass drum hoop, and I want to make sure that that's where the bass drum pedal is going to clamp, so you don't wreck your rim. Getting a new rim for a kit like this would probably be $500 to $1,000, so I don't want to wreck it. Okay, I almost got it here.
This one's the EQ3 batter head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's tune it up a little bit. And so you see what we're doing, just doing quarter turns around the drum head until we kind of feel that the tension is good. And then we still have to put it up and hit it, make sure it sounds good. And even then, with a drum this size, it will take a while to get to sound exactly the way you want. Let's do it a little bit tighter.
I'm a little tight here on my end, so I'll loosen up.
What type of bass drum head do you use, dude?
I use the what the ring around. I can't remember what it's called.
EMAD.
The EMAD, yeah, that's the one I
that's
use.
the
Yeah,
that's the hand we're giving away today.
yeah, very
EMAD
nice.
clears. Yeah, really nice.
It's got a ring around where it has some muffling that you can put on the exterior of your drum, so
Yeah.
it saves you from having to put a hole in your resonant head if you don't want.
Yeah. Yeah. I have that on my recording custom kit. It's really nice. Okay, this is still going to be too loose. I can feel it there. Feel how tense that is?
Mm-hmm.
And even once I start hitting this, or this drum sits for a while, you'll notice that when you come back, it'll need to be tuned again because the head is slowly stretching. Okay.
Give it a tap, see how it sounds. Just
I think it needs to come up a little bit more. I don't know. Let's try it. Okay, just a beast.
I'll throw the mic in there too, just so.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me get this drum. Take this off. Okay, let's give it a hit. Okay, that's going to sound very different than it sounded when I was playing at the beginning. Like I said, this is a 26-inch bass drum, so let me just.
It's got a lot more punch to it.
Yeah. And this channel not necessarily isn't necessarily EQ'd for it. Has lots of slap.
Yeah, it does.
So. Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't know how it's sounding for you guys, so I don't know if it's sounding good or if it's just sounding like waffly and everything. But I'd probably spend a little bit of time with it. I'd first make sure the tension is all even here, and then I would tune it up and hear how it sounds tuned up. But I don't even think this drum needs any muffling. Like, it had muffling in it,
Yeah.
but because there's a hole in it now, there's more airflow going through there. So I don't think it's going to need as much muffling because it's not going to resonate as much. Sounds good.
Another thing that I just noticed is you're using the pedals that were set for a 22-inch bass drum,
Yeah.
so it's not going to hit right center. So it's
I even moved it up, but some.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's almost center, but not quite. Okay, so I'm trying to pound through this last little bit here because I know you guys are probably getting anxious. But so we can now take some questions. Dave, did you get your
Yeah,
computer? Monkey, let's take this back out so I can move my.
Okay, so if any of you guys have any questions, I am online right now, and I can and anything related to tuning or anything like that. I'll try and catch everyone that I can. My back bass drum head, the only one you didn't hit, has a big rip going halfway up, and I taped it. Should I replace it? Yes, you should. You should replace it for one reason. You're slapping when you're hitting the bass. That resonant head's going to obviously it's going to move. It's going to resonate. And if you have a rip in there that's taped up, it's going to offer a lot of buzz. It's not going to offer the right amount of control with the air and sound. So definitely save up the money to replace it, because it is definitely something that will definitely improve the quality of the sound of your bass drum. Anything else? Let's see. Why doesn't Jared like Aquarian heads? Jared?
I tried them. I mean, it's as simple as that. I tried the drum heads and I didn't like them. So they don't seem to. They seem to be hard to tune, and they don't have that warmth in them. And I've tried some coated and clear. I haven't tried all the lines, and that was a couple years ago. So I'm not saying that they completely suck, and I'm not saying you shouldn't try them. I'm saying you should go out and try all the drum heads for yourself and figure out what you like. But for me, I usually use Evans G2 on my drums. They're the best for like a wide range of musical situations, whether you're playing rock, hard rock, alternative rock, jazz, some Latin stuff. They have that warmth to them, which I really like. So.
Cool. I had one question here that one of the plies on my double bass or 2-ply bass drum head is cracked. Does that matter? The only thing, it's not going to affect the sound too much because you still have that one ply there. It's the main thing is it's going to make your drum weaker. So you don't want to be on a live gig and then all of a sudden you do one kick and it'll go right through your actual head. So yes, change it if you can. If you can't afford it right now, it's not the end of the world. Just don't do any live sets with it.
Okay, one guy, Rock and Roll 0408 says, should I put moon gel on my bass? Basically, a little piece of moon gel on a 22-inch bass drum isn't going to make much of a difference. One thing that the drum gum guys sent me is they sent me these big bass drum pads that you peel the sticker off and then stick it on your bass drum. And those seem to work pretty well. You could look into that. I don't know if they're actually manufacturing them yet. It might have been just a prototype. But definitely check out ProMark drum gum. Just Google that. And you should be able to find something along those lines. But a little piece of moon gel probably wouldn't work. Plus, every time you put it in the case, it's going to come off because it's sticky on top.
I had a question here about a lot of guys ask about holes in the resonant bass drum head. What's the difference? Well, the main difference is if you're, first of all, advantage if you're a touring drummer or a drummer who does a lot of shows, it's a lot of sound guys like to be able to throw a mic right into the drum. And that's something that's a big plus when you go there. Sometimes they'll get angry at you, or sometimes you might not get a right sound. Another thing is you can easily move around and take out and put in muffling, whether it's a pillow, a sheet. You might be at a show where the sound is awesome, except your bass drum is just too hollow. You might need to put something in there. So, I mean, that's another advantage. I guess the third advantage would be it allows for more airflow, which could really affect the sound of your drum. If you're wanting a real punch, you might want to have more airflow, whereas if you have a single or a resonant head with no holes in there, it might muffle that a bit.
Yeah, and so did you talk about how the bass drum pedal will actually feel different as it hits your head?
Yes,
with no
explain
horn?
that too, yeah.
That's like that's the biggest thing for me is when you hit the bass drum, there's a amount of air that's being pushed. You know, it's like when you put your hand up to a subwoofer. There's the air coming out when the low note is being made. In a bass drum, if you don't have a hole in it, there's not as many places for that air to go. They come out in the little breathing hole on the drum, the vent, or they kind of have to find another way out. But there usually is some way for that air to get out. But what happens is the bass drum beater seems to bounce back more easily, and so having that hole takes that away. It's just, for me, it's just easier to play. It's less mistakes on extra little ghost strokes and stuff like that. You can kind of, when you hit the drum, that's what you get. You're not concerned about it bouncing and stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah, and if you're miking the kick, a hole helps. Okay, let me see. Why do drums have vents? Well, like I said, there's got to be somewhere for the air to go. If the drums were airtight, it wouldn't sound nearly as good. There's got to be somewhere for the air to go and the sound to come out.
One guy's asking, how do I change the snare wires? That's actually, it's not too hard to do. We obviously ran out of time to do something like that. We're basically talking about tuning the heads of your drums.
Yeah.
Maybe we can fit that into another lesson, but it's actually, most drums are pretty easy. You see there's either a key on there or a lug on there. You can
That's
take
the thing.
off.
Every drum is a little bit different, and a lot of it depends on what snare wires you're putting on. If you're putting on the snare wires that require you to like tie the knot, then it's a little bit different. But most of them have the piece of plastic that you put up into that thing and then tighten it. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know the technical terms. And then you have to attach it to the throw off. But it's a little bit tricky because you have to make sure it's not too tight so you can still bring your wires up, but you got to make sure it's not too loose that you don't have any room to adjust it. So that's like, we'll put that on our list, and eventually we'll try and get to that lesson.
One guy asked, my snare has a very unpleasant overtone. Do I adjust the top or the bottom head? This is, again, it could be because of your room that you're in. Could be because you're not muffling enough. Try maybe putting a little piece of drum gum or something like that. Even tape with toilet paper is what Jared had on his resonant head. Try messing around with that. But it is always good to keep your resonant head very tight, especially on a snare drum. So.
Mm-hmm. Do you need resonant head on the bass drum? As far as do you need resonant heads, I've seen a couple posts like that. You don't need them, but I think you should have them. The drums wouldn't sound as good without them, in my opinion. If you like the sound without the resonant heads, then just take them off. But in my opinion, it looks funny and it doesn't sound as good.
1-ply or 2-ply on batters. Kind of went over that. CGS, it's preference for you. If you're a heavy drummer, 2-ply might be a little more down
I
your
like
alley.
2-ply. Dave likes 2-ply. I think if you did a poll, the majority of the drummers use 2-ply heads. This is what I was saying before from those bigger drum companies. Don't send your drums out with 1-ply heads because that's what nobody uses. They take the drums out of the box, they're so excited, and they go and hit them and they sound like poop. So put 2-ply drum heads on your drums. Okay? What's better, drum gum or ring muffling? Drum gum is better. Rings, sometimes you have to tape them down, but they'll sizzle a little bit and they'll make little noises. So if you're ever in the studio, you kind of get these random noises that the engineers will not like, and it'll also annoy you. Plus, when you're moving around the drums, your sticks get caught underneath them, and it could make for an embarrassing moment. So if you have the capacity to do one or the other, just do drum gum for sure. Poop is not as good as waffles.
How can you avoid snare rattle when you hit the rack toms? Jared, you've actually done a lot of studio recordings. Do you have this happen quite a bit when you're in the studio recording?
Yeah, a lot of times it just seems impossible to avoid it. I've seen a video by Schroeder that if you heard the band playing when we started, he's the drummer playing in that band, and he says if the snare wires are, let me just bring this up. Too tight. One sec. Okay, he's saying if the snare wires are right here to crank on these up evenly. Okay? So you crank these up and you put a little bed for the snare wires. And he says that'll cut down on some of the buzzing. I've tried it a few times and it hasn't worked. So a lot of it depends on how your snare drum and your tom react together and react to each other. Sometimes I just replace the snare drum and I have no problems. That's what I did last time, actually. Probably a month back. I had that exact problem.
Certain frequencies just ring a little bit more, or buzz the snare a bit more too.
JP, what's your question? You say, "Come on, I almost have to go." What's your question? 5, 4, 3, 2. When does drumhead should be replaced? Whenever we talked about that earlier. Oh, he wants the prizes. Okay.
So any other questions out there? Like legit questions. My laptop actually just shut down on me, so
okay.
I'm going.
Okay, no more questions. Okay, you guys. Now we're gonna do some giveaways. Okay, let's start with the 2 drum tuning systems.
Cool.
Okay. Do you have?
I only have 3 questions this today, so we might have to do something else.
I have another question.
Okay, sure. Here, pass me that. I'll. You good to go there?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, so we're giving away a drum tuning system for this one?
Yeah, drum tuning system.
Here, I'll grab it here. 2-disc set, 4.5 hours, I think it is.
Yeah, we did. I don't know how long this lesson was. It was really long. But that, and you saw everything when we were moving stuff around. It was totally uncut, unscripted. Here, I'll hold it up.
Yeah.
Your Vanna White. And isn't the light there? Totally uncut, totally unscripted. But this is like 4.5 hours of straight tuning. He talks about muffling. He like goes into the bass drum stuff. And Mike, I mean, if we think we play a lot, Mike is constantly playing. Okay, Mike is everywhere, all across North America, playing the drums and teaching people how to play the drums. So, yeah, this is the guy to talk to about tuning your drums for sure.
Okay, so let's give one of those away here. First question, the first person to respond with the right answer wins.
Yeah.
What was the name of the song Jared played at the beginning of this lesson, if anybody remembers?
Yeah. First person to post in the chat. What's the name of the song? What's the name of the song? Okay. Z Fleaman 157. Z Fleaman 157. Okay.
Did you get it?
Yeah, you got it.
Perfect.
You have to email me, jared@railroadmedia.com. Okay. And claim your free DVD, Mike McCalco's drum tuning system. Okay, jared@railroadmedia.com.
Awesome.
Okay, next one.
Another tuning system?
Yeah.
You have a question for this, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, give her.
Okay, what is the technical term that drum heads are made with? What are they made of? What are drum heads made of? First person to post in the chat gets a Yanato.
Yanato. You must already have the tuning system.
Yeah. Yanato, you got it, man. Okay, you know my email. I'm not even going to tell you.
All right, we got a fusion pack of 10, 12, 14-inch. I'll let you hold it up.
Okay, let me just show these guys what. These are EC2s, okay? Not what we use today. Just want to quickly show you. They have the ring around there, 2-ply heads. Really nice sounding heads. Easy to tune.
Very cool.
Yeah, but we'll ship this stuff to you, no charge. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so question for this one is, how often should a normal drum set be reskinned?
How often?
Yeah, how often? I said it.
Yeah, he did.
The average in this lesson. I mentioned what I usually do and what the average time
The
should
ska boss. The ska boss. You got it. The ska boss gets it.
be. There you go. Okay.
Cool. Congrats.
So
Next one.
we got another one of the same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Jared, you got a question?
No, I don't.
Because I only got one left, and I want to save that for the bass drum.
Well, give me one of
ones.
those then.
Okay, here we go. This is for the bass drum pack.
One of the bass drum packs.
resonant and batter.
This is an $80 value, okay? If not more. This is, and these are the EMADs, okay? I wish I could have kept this for my drum head. As you saw today, we didn't have a drum head for my 22-inch drum, so
So we had to do
I'm
26.
screwed. So I would love to keep this. If you guys all want to leave the chat right now, that would be great. Then I can keep it. But if not, that's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a question anyways. This wasn't too tough. It's actually pretty easy. Which famous drummer also started a clothing company and started his own reality TV show?
Which one? Which famous drummer? I think it's Brian on drums.
Brian on drums?
Brian on drums is the first person to say both names.
Yeah, I might want to double check.
Brian on drums.
There we go.
Steven is the best, said Travis, but you got to give us the full name, man. Travis Barker, Brian on drums. Jared at railroadmedia.com. You're getting my bass drum heads that I really wanted to keep. Okay, we have another set over there.
10, 12, 14s?
Yeah. No, this is this one, right? Do you have a question for this?
No.
Really?
No, I
You're
didn't think
coming
we were
prepared
giving away this many, but I guess since we didn't do a show last
Well, maybe we should stop now. Do you guys want us to give away a few more things, or should we just?
Hey, we got an extra set of 22s here. You can keep them if you wanted to.
Should we stop now? I don't know if these guys actually want any more stuff, but
Let's see here.
the chat's totally frozen on my computer. Maybe it's just.
How about you scroll down?
Oh, that'll help, hey?
Maybe you're just way beyond.
Okay. I don't know a question, man.
Shall I think of a question on the spot? Maybe we should just say, pick a band and whoever can tell me who the drummer is or something.
First person to post Dave's age. That's
Oh. You know my age. Oh.
First person to post Dave's age.
Monkey's finger.
Okay, what is it? What is it?
It's 24.
24. Okay, I'm gonna scroll up now. Everyone's just posting. Steven is the best. Gets shafted on the Travis Barker, but gets it.
There you go.
Steven is the best. You got a free one of these. Okay? From Evans, courtesy of Evans Drumheads.
All right.
Last one. What are we gonna do?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's a
Okay,
good one.
At last show, one of the names of the monkeys was exposed. If any of you were there, this is a hard one.
Yeah.
For all you who were there, what was that monkey's name?
I accidentally spurted it out.
Yeah. I don't even know who it was. No. No, you guys. No one's going to get it.
Should we say what it starts with?
Oh, hold on. Hold on. Someone got it. Paul Rocks 177. It was Jeff, right?
Yeah, it's Jeff.
Paul Rocks 177. I know you're probably just guessing, but
But you did it. You guessed right.
yeah. Okay, Paul Rocks 177. You get free Evans EMAD drumhead pack, batter and rezo. Okay, so congratulations. You need to email me. Okay, email me to claim your free stuff and let me know your username in the live broadcast chat here, and then I can mail you guys the stuff. It's no charge. Okay, and as far as like future lesson topics and stuff like that, we're going to do this once a week. So whether you can make it live or not, we're going to do it once a week, and we're going to post it on YouTube for all you who missed it. Definitely email me your ideas, okay? Like I have no desire to do these lessons on topics that I think would work or that I think you want to see. I want to do topics on things that you actually have told me that you want to learn about. You know, that's the whole purpose of it. There's no point in doing it otherwise. So definitely email me or join us in the Free Drum Lessons forums. Comment on all the videos. If you're watching this on YouTube, put your comments below. Okay, I read all the comments and I'm in there, and if I don't necessarily reply to yours, I definitely read it. I guarantee you. So thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It was a good hour and a half. What time is it, actually?
I don't even know. 5:39. Yeah, it's a long hour and 40 minutes.
Thanks for all who stayed the
yeah.
whole time.
Yeah, if you stayed the whole time,
Yeah.
email me. Maybe I'll send you something. Okay? So, yeah, talk to you later. And we'll see you next week,
See you next
Tuesday
Tuesday. Yeah.
at 4 p.m. Pacific time,
Pacific time.
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, later.
Take care.